Hello, beautiful humans, and welcome back to the Balancing Healthy podcast. I'm so excited because I just want to start today's episode by saying thank you so much for all your love, support, and just listens or views or however you consume the podcast. I did my creators Spotify Wrapped on the weekend and surprised me a lot. I hit 12 countries, which was wild. I was number one show for seven people, which again, it's not going to sound like a lot, but like I'm just a small time creator, small business owner. I'm just literally sitting in my apartment every single week recording, just like I have no idea if this is landing for anyone, if anyone's even listening, like, and I just keep recording. So to be top seven, top number one for seven people was just unreal. And then I was in like the top five for I think 23 people, and then the top 10 for like 36 people, which is actually crazy to me. And I just love and appreciate you all so much. So thank you for listening. As always, before I even go further with this, if there's any episodes, any requests, because of course this podcast is for those of you who are listening. It is a free educational resource. It is, it's a lot of, I want to say it's a lot of effort, which it is a lot of effort on my part, but I do it for you guys because I want you to get the most out of it and learn as much as you can and just be able to absorb as much as possible. And especially heading into 2026, this episode today is actually going to be something that'll help you set you up for 2026. I just want you guys to like hit the ground running. So if there's any requests, any guests, anything like that, then please let me know and I'll get it sorted because I'm not going anywhere. And let's hope 2026, well, not let's hope, because I know 2026 is going to be even bigger and better for the Balancing Healthy podcast. So anyway, here we are. But this episode today, I am talking you all through my weight loss hacks, more like non-negotiables that you can start to implement now so that you will be 10 steps ahead coming into 2026. And now I feel like being nearly mid-December, it's a bit of a weird time to do this kind of episode, but I think it's something that you guys will really benefit from. I think it's something that you can start to put these tricks into motion. Just so, yeah, you're not kind of writing off the rest of the year and you're not going to come to January and be 5, 10 kilos up because you just kind of let everything go. So that's what I really want the intention of today's episode to be about. Sorry. And yeah, let's just get into it. So, like I said, I really want this to be something that you can use now. You can take what works for you, take what doesn't, just so you can really enjoy the Christmas period with a bit more presence, with a bit less guilt. Like I don't want you to enter 2026 going straight into that binge and restrict cycle because you feel guilty of what happened in this last month of 2025. So first things first, I did do a kind of similar episode a couple of weeks ago. I think it might have been 2 weeks ago from when this goes live. And that was more of like preparing yourself for social events and like preparing yourself leading up to it and all the things you can kind of do like leading up to it and then on the day. Whereas this is going to be more about that day to day kind of thing. It's more of that, those little one percenters, which if you've been following me on Instagram, which I'm assuming most of you do, I've been talking about the one percenters a lot lately, and it is because it's truly because it's things that I've been doing and it's things that I've been having conversations with my clients or things that my clients have been doing. And it's just really finding those little one percenters to be proud of, to show up in, and they all are really going to add up in the end. So, pretty much today, my weight loss hacks, really non-negotiables, if you will. I've got one, two, three, four, five that I'm going to talk to today. I've got a whole bunch of notes and I wrote so many notes, which I haven't done this many notes in a while. So I'm really trying to like kind of get through it. Just so you guys don't have to hear me yap for hours upon hours. But anyway, the first one is tracking food. And now you're probably like, Sarah, duh, like we're in a deficit. Again, not in a deficit right now, but like if we're going into a deficit, we're obviously tracking food, right? But it's one of those things that, again, it's kind of come from clients and from just like speaking to people in general of like, everyone kind of goes, oh, it's December. Like, who really gives a fuck? And you really should give a fuck because if you are someone who has already lost weight this year, you've already, been in a weight loss journey, you've been in a deficit, you've done X, Y, Z, whatever the thing is, you need to still be tracking your food in this current point in time. I'm not saying forever, but in this current point of time, so that you are still aware of what you're consuming and just what you're eating, everything like that, because naturally the calories are going to start to add up. And again, this isn't coming from a place of like, I want you to restrict, but it's coming from a place of like, there are a lot more treats in December, okay? Like I myself, and I'm going to go into this in a second, but I myself am doing like a Biscoff series. We are getting Too Good to Go bags, which if you know, you know, I fucking love them. But we literally got a Daniel's Donut one a few days ago. There's more treats around. If you're in an office, I know my office workers, my school teachers, wrapping up the end of the year, there's a lot more treats in the office, in the classroom, whatever the thing is. So it's just kind of like tracking your other food and just having that knowledge around what you're putting into your body and allowing yourself the space for those other things. So first things first, I'm going to give you an example of what I'm doing. So I'm back into my maintenance slash reverse. I've been out of the deficit for a number of weeks now. But what I'm doing is my maintenance is well in the 2000s, right? It's like currently sitting anywhere between 2200 to 2500. Again, I've not been tracking precisely, and this is what I'm about to talk about. So I have been tracking at 1900 calories, which are probably like, Sarah, that is so low, but I'm doing it with intention. A, because it's already that little bit higher than I was doing in my deficit, so I don't feel restricted at all. But B, it allows me like 400 calories a day to have for said treats. So I'm not going completely like crazy and I'm not just eating everything in the house. It's like I know that I'm nailing my fundamentals with the food that I'm tracking. So then the rest of the calories can go towards the fun stuff. So for example, I'm tracking at 1900 calories. I'm making sure I'm hitting my protein first and foremost. I'm eating my vegetables in my lunches, my dinners. I'm eating my fruit in my breakfast. Like I'm eating all the good things. And then I'm leaving the extra calories is coming from carbs and fats. So that is going to work very well with my treats. Like I said, I'm doing a Biscoff series. Generally, Biscoff is a lot higher in carbs. The things that I'm putting it with is higher in fats. Like I'm not making this series a high protein Biscoff series. It is literally a Biscoff series, a new recipe every single week. So if you're not following my Instagram, I recommend going over there and doing that because I'm doing it every single week until I use up my entire 1.6 kilo jar of Biscoff. Just to, again, give you guys some recipes, some inspo, little treats for Christmas period if you want to take it to Christmas Day. I've got some festive ones coming the next couple of weeks around Christmas, so you can take it to Christmas Day. But yeah, anyway, I've got my Biscoff series, and like I said, we have Daniel's donuts for example, not last night, yesterday, I literally tracked perfectly. I think I hit like 145 grams of protein. Actually, I think I only had 1800 calories tracked yesterday. And I had my fruits, I had my veggies. Like my lunch was literally like this big. I've been craving like a taco bowl, which is just chef's kiss. But craving a taco bowl. So I've got heaps of veg, like lettuce, cucumber, onion, like chucked all the veg in there. And then my dinner has like broccoli and potato and stuff like that. So I've chucked all my veg in there. And then end of the day, yeah, I think it was 1800 calories. And so I literally had like 500 calories to eat Daniel's donuts. So like my partner and I, like we just have the box on the table and we just like cut them up into little bits and then just have a few little nibbles like that. So I'm like, I literally have the space for it. And I'm like, I know I'm not going like crazy overboard. And it's like, I can have it quote unquote guilt free. Not that I feel guilty for a donut anyway, but it's that thing of quote unquote guilt free because I know that I'm going to have a lot of things like this over the next month or so. So that's kind of my first thing. I will touch on that though as well. So where you can, like saving the calories, saving the carbs. So like I said, I've been craving a burrito bowl. So I had that last week for lunch and I accidentally forgot to put my rice in it. I was eating it the first day and I was like, why is this not giving what I thought it was going to be giving? And I forgot to put rice in it. And then I went, you know what? It doesn't actually need rice. Like the bit that I wanted was like the onion, the avo, the sour cream, the salsa. Like, I'm like, that's the kind of bit that I wanted. So I've literally this week kept it as keep the rice out, which means I've saved an extra it's like 180 calories or something, and a lot of carbs in that meal. So again, those calories and carbs are going towards my donuts or treats or whatever the thing is. I'm just going to keep using these as an example because that's what I'm having at the moment. Um, but yeah, so it's like being able to include those treats and not always having to track them perfectly, but still tracking your food as much as you can, right? And it's that thing of, okay, we could go fuck it, but we could go, okay. Last week, I didn't track the entire weekend because I was at a Christmas party and then I was completely fucking hungover. Like, I'm just gonna admit that I was so hungover on Sunday, I just like couldn't even live. So I just ate what I could because I couldn't really eat. So I didn't track the whole weekend, but I tracked the entire week leading up to it, right? And I could have let that go. Okay, fuck it. I'm just going to go whatever for the rest of December. But then I looked Sunday night, I looked at my week ahead and I was like, oh, I don't actually have that much on this week. Like I'm pretty much at home for every meal Monday to Saturday. There's only one lunch I'm having out, which is more of like a businessy type meeting for something very exciting. But one lunch I'm having out between Monday to Saturday. I'm like, I can literally control what's 3 times 6? 18 minus the lunch out. I can control 17 meals. Imagine if I had just said, no, fuck it, whatever. That's 17 meals that I could be potentially having not enough protein. I could potentially not be having fruits and veg in there. I just could potentially be feeling like shit because of the food that I'm eating, like going, oh, fuck it, I'll just buy whatever and just eat whatever today. No, that is 17 meals that I can control. And then on Sunday, I know I'm going to be out all day. So I know I'm going to be out for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That is what it is. But I know that this week I've controlled 6 days. So my Sunday is really like a blip in the scheme of things. Like it's really, really not much. And that is why I think it's so important to keep tracking as you are, but tracking that little bit under. So everyone should be in a maintenance period. If someone's in a deficit, if you have a coach who's telling you to be in a deficit, I personally think that is a really bad idea. I think you can absolutely still make progress in this time, but you don't have to be in a deficit to do it. And it's these little tips and tricks I'm giving you today that are going to contribute to that progress. So if you're in a deficit, no, 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 time to get out of it. Quote unquote, be at a deficit, as in you might be tracking at one, like me tracking at 1900 is me tracking as a deficit, but I'm not in a deficit because I'm eating more food overall. So if any of that doesn't make sense, feel free to send me a message on Instagram, leave a comment down below, and I'll talk a little bit more into it, or we can talk about your certain situation, whatever the thing is. But I'm going to stop on talking about tracking about food. Stop talking about tracking food. So that was my first one. Second thing is starting your day with a high protein and high fat, if you can, high volume meal as well. And again, so sorry if you can hear that banging. I don't think you guys can, but it's been really hot in Melbourne. Oh my God, it's getting louder. It's been really hot in Melbourne and we don't have aircon, but it's a bit of a cooler day today. So I've got the blinds, I mean the windows open and the blinds are just kind of like banging on the window. You know, when the wind just pushes it and starts banging. Yeah, still one of those ones. So anyway, starting your day with high protein and high fats meal if you can. So example, because I've been working at home on Monday and Tuesday mornings, I always do. I will have eggs and usually it's either tuna or beef mince or something. This week I had salmon. Today specifically, I had an English muffin with goat cheese, 3 fried eggs and smoked salmon. That's what I had. And it was literally 43 grams of protein. And I can't remember how much fat it was, but it's the goat cheese, the eggs, and the fat all give, I mean, and the salmon, fuck, I can't talk today, all provide really, really healthy fats. So, really healthy fats to support your hormones. That's not something I'm going to go into now, but we do need healthy fats in our diet. So, yeah, starting your day with both those things, personally, I find a high protein and high fat meal keeps me full for fucking hours. I literally ate that at 9 o'clock, I believe it was. It's currently 1:30 and I'm not even hungry. Could be because I'm a little bit run down, my throat's a little bit sore, but I'm literally not even hungry right now. So it literally keeps me so full. And that is the beauty of it because it's like you're not going to be snacking as much because you're filling yourself up prior. Then my lunch is again what I said, my burrito bowl. So it's not burrito bowl minus the rice. So it's not got rice in it, but it's heaps of lettuce, cucumber, red onion. I can add carrot if I want. I don't to this one, but I can. And then it's got the extra lean beef mince for protein. It's got some cheese for protein. It's got some sour cream, some salsa, some avo for some fat. So it's like it's a huge fucking bowl. If I had it right now, I could show you, but it's a huge bowl. And again, that keeps me full for hours. And then I don't really need to think about eating until dinner. I will usually have an afternoon snack in there only because we eat dinner a bit late. But again, it's like having those 3 main meals, really looking at high protein, add some fats, high volume where you can. So more veggies, more fruits, things like that. And then it's going to keep you fuller for longer. And then you if you're starving all day. And then again, when you go to have your treats at night, you're not going to go and like eat the whole thing. Like I didn't go and eat the whole box of Daniel's donuts. There's 11 donuts in there. We've had them 2 nights so far, and there's still over half left, I would say. And that's between the two of us sharing it. Like there's heaps in there. So it's a thing of like if you can eat more food, eat high volume, eat more protein, more fats, you'll be fuller for longer, and that is hack to a deficit. The next one I'm going to speak to is your steps. This is the thing that people just don't seem to get. Your steps, and again, people go, oh, steps, who, whatever, what. Your steps can be the difference between you losing weight or just staying stuck where you are. And again, in the episode a few episodes ago, I spoke to pivoting your training where you can during this season, but I'm not talking to training today, especially if you're someone who just you go away and there's no space to train, whatever the thing is. Steps. I cannot tell you how important your steps are. Like I said, it is I'm going to say the be all and end all. It is so, so, so important to have that movement to get your body going. It is not even just for like, oh, I'm just doing my steps today. Like it is what it is. It is getting out into the sunshine. It is actually stretching out your muscles. It's actually like, it's a form of meditation. Like it's actually not even just for the quote unquote weight loss, but it is also just for your physical and mental health. Like you will feel 10,000 times better. And everyone's step goal is different. But what I want to speak to in this is my personal example is in my deficit, I went up to 12,000 steps a day and I've kept it there. I've not gone back down, especially like currently I haven't trained this week. It's Tuesday. I was really not great yesterday and then I'm not well today. So I just haven't trained this week. But I can do my steps. Like I feel good enough to be able to do my steps and I can go for walks and I can get out into the sunshine and move my body in that way. Keep your steps as high as you can. I'm not saying go and do 20,000 steps a day. I'm absolutely not. I'm saying keep it at your bare minimum, what your body's used to or what your coach has told you to do or whatever kind of situation you're in. And then where you can do little bits more. Like where can you walk a bit further to the shops or something like me? Like if I can walk to the gym or I can drive to the gym, but walking gets me an extra, I think it's like 18 minutes each way, something like that. If I walk to work, if depending on the time, if I walk to work, it's an hour and 5 minutes walk. I can walk to work and then that does a big chunk of my steps. I don't have to worry about it. It's just looking at like doing those things where you can and really keeping up that step target. The next two, I'm just going to kind of put them together. The next two are water and sleep. So water, I just don't even really have time for an excuse with this one. I think if you can drink 2 liters of water any day of the week, why can't you do it during December? It's one of those months. Like there's not really any factors that can really stop you from drinking your water. Like I don't need to go into that. But again, water, it's getting fucking hotter in Australia. Water is going to be key for your hydration, key for your muscle recovery, especially if you're still training, you're training hard. It is key for your energy. It is key for your brain health. It's everything. Water is so important. If you're feeling low energy, if you're feeling foggy, even if you're feeling really fucking hungry, but you're like, it's not hunger, it's kind of boredom, have some fucking water. Watch the troubles go away. And I really, like I said, I really don't have an excuse for not being able to drink your water in this time. Don't understand it. Nothing should affect it. And then sleep's the last one. So like I said, sleep, well, sorry. The reason I put it with water is because it's also really important for recovery. It's important for your energy. It's important to keep you feeling good mentally and physically, especially if you are a gym goer, like I said. But something that I want to highlight as well, because again, it's a conversation I had with a client recently. She said to me, like, through December, I really want to make sure I'm doing like minimum 3 gym sessions a week, blah, blah, blah. And she is a very fucking busy teacher. She's a very busy social human. She does so many things. And this is what I want to talk to, especially if you're a weekend gym goer, because generally the weekends in December is where everything starts to come around. And that's when all the activities start piling up. And like you're getting really stressed because you're like, when do I have a fucking break? So sleep, you have to really assess where you're at with this one. The reason I'm putting this with the weekend gym goer is because if you're someone, again, if you could have that extra hour or two sleep on the weekend, like let's, for example, say you have to, I don't know, be out of the house by 8 o'clock on a Saturday morning, and you're like, the only time I can go to the gym is at 5 a.m. But on Friday night, I've got a dinner that'll probably go till like 9 or 10. And then like, are you seeing like what I'm saying here? Like some people would say to you like, oh, that like you should just push like no excuses, go to the gym at 5 a.m. It's like, if you've had a full fucking week and you've had a full day of work and then you've gone to a dinner that's gone till 9 or 10 o'clock, by the time you get home, by the time you unwind, by the time you go to sleep, who the fuck is waking up for a 5 a.m. gym session? And some of you listening might be like, well, yeah, I wouldn't do that anyway. But like, I just have to highlight it because I see people say it, I see people promote it, and I just think if you can prioritize your sleep over one gym session, who cares? Literally, who cares? If you've done your 2 sessions during the week and you need that time to sleep, have a little sleep in, fucking take it. Take it, please. Oh my God, don't listen to the people that are like, no, you should be getting up and going to the gym. Because, yeah, but like I said, take what works for you. Everyone's in a different situation. Some people have time off, some people don't. Some people are burnt to the fucking core at the moment. Some people are actually cruising, some people are okay. So take all of this, everything I've said today, with a grain of salt. Take what works for you. Don't go off, like, don't use everything I've said and go, oh, I need to do that. Make it work for you, make it work for your lifestyle. And if you still need some support, send me a message. All right. Again, to finish this off, I'll just like those 5 things: tracking the food, slightly under your maintenance, so then you have space for the extra. Oh my God, my tattoos. Sorry, I've never really seen them like in Zoom. Sorry, intent. What was I saying? Tracking food slightly under, so then you have that extra space for your treats and stuff. Starting your day with, and actually having all your meals as higher protein, higher volume, adding in some fats where you can. Steppies that is really like you should be able to get, sorry, not you should be able to get, but trying to do as many as you can to hit your target. Again, there's some days where you just literally physically don't have the time to do as much as your usual target, but try and hit it as an overall for the week. For example, if you're doing 10,000 a day, try and still hit your 70,000 for the week. Like try and like make it work like that. The next one was water. I do not have an excuse if you're not drinking your water. I really can't think of anything that would make you stop drinking your water just because it's December. And the last one is sleep. So like I said, really trying to get as much sleep as possible where you can, but also knowing that like some days you just can't. Really assess your situation. But again, I hope this episode finds you at the right time so you can implement it ASAP. If you are listening in real time and you're feeling like you need a little bit of support with these things, I've got 2 things for you. Firstly, you only have until midnight on the 14th of December. So this is going live on the, what day is it today? The 9th. So this is going live on the 11th of December. So you've only got until this Sunday night until midnight to claim 20% off my 12-week challenge. We are kicking off on Jan 19th. So if you sign up now, you get your 20% off, which is slay. And we will do our onboarding call. So then I can actually spend 30 to 40 minutes with you talking through all these things, talking through your goals for 2026. And I'm not just talking about for the 12 weeks, I'm talking about your long-term goals. So we can actually talk through it. We can go, I can actually put like a plan in place. I go, okay, let's backtrack it. This is what we're going to do. These are the steps we're going to take. This is what I want you to do now. So for the next, how many weeks it is until we start, I think it's 5 or 6 weeks, you can actually implement what I've told you to do. It'll include things like this. It'll talk to your training, your steps, your food, your everything. I'll give you what you need to do so you can literally be 10 steps ahead, not only when January starts, but then when the challenge starts on Jan 19th. Again, Jan 19th feels like a long way away, but it will creep the fuck up. The reason I have made the start date on Jan 19th is because I know people are on holidays, there's school holidays, there's all the things. Like a lot of people don't get back into work, into the swing of things until mid Jan to the end of Jan. So I'm like, I'll give you guys some time to get back into the swing of things. That way you're not going balls to the wall and feeling restricted and feeling like I need to go hard. Like you've had some time to kind of decompress and debrief, and then you're like, cool, now I'm ready for this challenge on Jan 19th. If you pay in full as well, you save nearly $200, which is like insane. When I put these numbers together for sale, I was like, why am I doing this? But I'm like, it's too good, but whatever. So literally for 12 weeks, you'll get training, nutrition support, recipe library access, community support. You get your habits. We do monthly calls, monthly meetups, and monthly challenges. So that actually keeps you on track the whole time. It's the beauty of balancing her. Plus, I'm doing something very, very special, very different, an event I've not done before at the end of this challenge. So it'll be mid-April that this is, and you'll get first ticket access to that. So I'm very, very excited. A lot of my clients know what it is already, and I think the spots are going to sell pretty quickly. So if you want first ticket access, if you want to know what it is, actually send me a DM on Instagram, and I can tell you, but it's not public knowledge just yet. It's actually my lunch is about tomorrow. I'm having lunch with someone to organize it, so it's very exciting. But yeah, you can get all of that for literally $360 if you pay in full for training and nutrition, which works out to be I think it's $30 a week. I'm not good at maths. I think it's $30 a week, but I can do an extended payment plan to start now so that it can be as little as I think it's like $20 a week if we go from now to the end to the mid-April. So cheap as fucking chips if I do say so myself. But secondly, the other thing, if you are like maybe the challenge, maybe unsure, if you want a little bit of a teaser of what my recipe library, how I eat easy budget friendly recipes. If you want to see what my training programs are like, then I do currently have a free ebook available as well. It will also only be available until this Sunday at midnight. So you've got a couple of days to have a look at both. Send me a message on Instagram. Just literally can just say the word ebook and I'll send it straight through. Um, and then yeah, it's that easy. You'll get 6 recipes and 3 workouts to get you through the silly season. So you're welcome. And yeah, I'm gonna wrap this up here because I think I've been speaking for way too long. My throat is getting a little bit sore. And I need to grab some lunch so I can go to work in about an hour and PT tonight. But thank you guys so much for listening, watching, wherever, however you're consuming the podcast. Like I said at the start, I really, really, really appreciate it because I'm just a girl. I'm just sitting in my home, just yapping for ages, doing all the behind the scenes, making sure the episodes are for you, the notes are good, like quality is good. I'm doing all the things, and I just appreciate those who listen and consume. And if you want to hear more, like I said, let me know what you want to hear, any guests, anything like that, and I'll make it happen. But thank you all for listening, and I'll speak to you in next week's episode. Oh, which will actually be, I should say, next week is going to be my 2025 wrap up. So I'm going to look at what goals I had, what I achieved, what I didn't achieve, what I'm going to leave behind in 2025. Like, there's a lot. There's going to be a lot going into that. I haven't actually looked at it all yet, so I'm excited. I'm like, I don't really know what, like, when like the year was just a fucking blur. It's one of those ones. So I'm excited to go through that and then share it all in a podcast episode. And then I'll be taking 2 weeks off the podcast. So plenty of time to get in not message requests, episode requests, and all the things. So anyway, I'm going to love you and leave you guys here. Thank you so much for listening and watching, and I'll see you in next week's episode.